My name is Walt, and I'm starting this podcast because I am committed to fight climate change. I have sons who have most of their life ahead of them, and I don't want them or anyone else to live in some dystopia. A few years ago, renewable energy became significantly cheaper than fossil fuel-derived energy. I thought, fantastic, we have an economic advantage added to the existential need to leave carbon in the ground. This transformation should go fast. Well, how are we doing?
Earth system scientists and climate scientists are getting seriously nervous. The planet is changing faster than we have expected. We are, despite years of raising the alarm, now seeing that the planet is actually in a situation where we underestimated risks. Abrupt changes are occurring in a way that is way beyond the realistic expectations in science. What shall we do to avoid these unmanageable outcomes? Well, the IPCC is clear on the pathway. To stay under 1.5 degrees Celsius, to avoid crossing tipping points, we need to operate, to navigate within the global carbon budget that gives us a chance of holding 1.5. What remains for us is only 200 billion tons of carbon dioxide that we can continue emitting to have a 50% chance of holding 1.5. We emit today 40 billion tons of carbon dioxide per year, giving us 5 years at current rate of emission before we've consumed the budget. We are seriously running out of time. This is seriously causing economic costs. We have scientifically in the past shown that this could cost a few percent of global GDP of the climate impacts caused by us. I can tell you that the latest scientific assessment is what you see on the screen here. An 18% loss of GDP by 2050 if we now follow the current path. This is equivalent to $38 trillion of loss per year in 2050. It's starting to hurt, both in human social costs and in economic costs. And this is happening at 1.2 degrees Celsius of global mean surface temperature rise, and we're following a pathway that takes us to 2.7 degrees Celsius in only 70 years. And we've had a 10,000-year period where our civilizations have developed, where we've had an enormous privilege of a planet at 14 degrees Celsius plus minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. That's the Holocene since we left the last ice age. And if you look 3 million years back, we never exceeded 2 degrees Celsius. That's the warmest temperature on Earth during the entire Quaternary. The coldest point, minus 5 degrees Celsius, ice age. I call this the corridor of life. Is it surprising that we scientists are getting really, really nervous? But it's more. It's so much more than this.
In fact, the United States pulled more fossil fuels out of the ground in 2024 than any country in history. Why are we in this situation? Why are we suffering the growing extreme weather events and the health problems from poor air quality and the dangerous risk to the home insurance business and the myriad other ramifications of climate change? Well, the answer is clear to everybody who pays attention. Entrenched economic interests have used political donations and disinformation across our various media outlets to slow down a green technical transformation. We have a president who is trying to roll back all the renewable energy progress that has been made, all in the name of power and greed. What about San Diego County? If there was ever a location made for renewable energy to fight climate change, San Diego's the place. California as a state couldn't be more perfect for electrifying everything. Progress, unfortunately, is disappointing here, which brings me to why I'm starting the Climate Crossroads San Diego podcast. The San Diego Green New Deal Alliance has done a good job of bringing the 60 plus environmental activist groups together, so we know there is a large interest in fighting climate change, and there's plenty of experts to help explain how to do it. We all know that we have to think globally and act locally. And this is particularly true in the fight against climate change. The goal of the Climate Crossroads San Diego podcast is to create a communication forum for people concerned about climate change and wonder what they can do to help win the fight. The podcast will begin as a weekly pre recorded discussion of the local issues in San Diego. I'm going to invite knowledgeable experts who can join me to discuss questions of importance to the community. I'm hoping there will be viewers who submit questions and topics they would like addressed. I'm also hoping other San Diegans will join me to help build this communication forum, Climate Crossroads San Diego. If all of you watching this video will join me, together we can take the fight against climate change and climate change disinformation to a new level that encourages progress. Finally, let me show you what topic the first podcast will cover. This article from SFGate discusses the CPUC's efforts to find more revenue for the investor-owned utilities by adding fees to homeowners who have their own solar arrays. The goal is to create a fund that will lower residential bills for people without solar. I will review the article, add my comments, and solicit questions from viewers of Climate Crossroads San Diego. So please tune in during the week of March 24th. You'll receive an email through the San Diego Green New Deal Alliance email list. And together, let's try to elevate the discussion to reach as many concerned people as possible and turn San Diego into an oasis of green, renewable energy.